Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Don't Tell Anyone podcast. This is your insider's guide to the hidden tricks, powerful hacks, and real world advice that music pros keep to themselves. So, whether you are just starting out as an artist, producer, songwriter, or musician, this show will definitely help you cut through the noise, build your craft, and navigate the industry with confidence. Every episode delivers the knowledge and inspiration you need to grow faster and make your mark in the music industry. So, are you ready to unlock your potential? Let's dive in. And today, our guest is a voice you have probably heard. And if you haven't, trust me, you've been missing out on a lot. He first stepped into the spotlight as a standout semifinalist on American Idol Season 10, winning over millions with his powerful voice and emotional delivery. But that was just the beginning. Followed was a transformation from televised talent to internationally recognized recording artist, songwriter, and vocal powerhouse. Since then, Robbie Rosen has become one of the most sought out after voices in the pop and EDM space, lending his vocals and songwriting to tracks that have collectively earned him over 100 million streams worldwide. His collaborations read like a who's who of the electronic world, including BEAUZ, Sick Individuals, Blasterjaxx, DubVision, Yosef, Ryos, Lost Identities, and many more, bringing depth and emotion to the high energy pulse of the dance music. His music has been released under the banners of Universal Music, Spinnin Records, Reveal Recordings, Protocol, Smash the House, and nearly every major dance music label in the scene. A rare feat for an artist who seamlessly bridges commercial appeal with the heartfelt songwriting. Whether he's penning ballads, belting hooks over massive festival drops, or writing songs for other artists behind the scenes, Robbie's work reflects a deep understanding of craft, connection, and longevity. He's more than just the guy from Idol. He's the hitmaker, he's a performer, and he's a storyteller and one of the most versatile voices in the industry today. Robbie Rosen, welcome to the show. How are you feeling tonight?
I am good, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm really excited to have you on the show. So, I'm going to ask you some questions. My first question being about your origins. How did you actually get into music? When did you first start getting inspired by music, and when did you decide that you're going to be pursuing music? I just want to know everything from the start.
Absolutely. So my mom was a professional singer, so I was pretty much singing right out of the womb, pretty much. Before I could say my first word, I was humming melodies and harmonies. So I definitely got my voice from her and kind of my first initial inspiration from her. And I would say professionally, I started around the age of 8, got my first piano, started playing, started writing songs around that same age. And I think that's when I really felt that this could be something. I started watching American Idol when I was 7, 8 years old. So I knew that that was something I really wanted to do eventually. And yeah, that kind of first sparked my interest and started my journey.
That is so sick. How old were you? That you said 8 years old, right? You've been
Well, yeah, 7, 8 years old.
Oh, that is so sick. Okay. My next question is, could you take us into your writing process? What sparks an idea for you? Lyrics first, melody, or personal experience? How do you write your lyrics?
So I take every song with a different approach, especially because I work with so many different people, and I always cater to their strengths. So some people come to me with a lyric idea with no melodies, and we build melody into their lyrics. Some people come with a melody idea and they have no lyrics whatsoever. They just have a really dope melody. When I'm writing by myself, sometimes I have one and not the other, right? Or sometimes they come both at the same time. So I would say it really differs per experience. I do love to have somewhat of a foundation in my head of what I want the messaging to be, the overall theme to the lyrics, maybe a title too, which kind of sets the groundwork for what I'm going to write about. So I always like to approach every session, at least with somewhat of a full idea of what the song is going to encompass. But other than that, we go about it in many, many different ways.
So, when you're writing for yourself or if you're writing for someone else, how different is your approach emotionally and creatively?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all know ourselves better than pretty much anybody, right? So I would say it's easier to write from your own perspective, your own feelings, everything like that. When you write for somebody else, creatively, again, you want to cater to their strengths and follow their approach and obviously offer suggestions, but do what makes them comfortable and what brings out the best possible attributes in them in the song. Emotionally, you definitely want to give them a safe space to create. I've had many, many clients of mine and collaborators opening up to the point where they're crying mid-session about an emotional experience or, whatever they went through in their life that the song's going to be about. And I think just that's one of the most special things for me is that I've been fortunate to be able to, be so close with the people I work with and give them that safe space to be able to create freely. So I think, yeah, again, every experience is different emotionally and creatively.
Okay. Uh, you've worked in EDM, pop, and ballads. So, how do you keep your sound adaptable while staying true to the Robbie Rosen identity?
It's a great question. I've done so many different styles of music, probably more than you've heard too. So EDM and pop, definitely. I majored in jazz in college, so I've done some of that stuff, jazz and soul and some R&B stuff. I've really sung almost every style for all different people, different clients I've worked with, including country and really everything. So I think I always do try to put my own signature inflections. I do a lot of like emotional kind of cries or vocal fries or things to bring out my signature tone and style, no matter what the genre is. But I also, again, cater to that genre, right? So if it's a country song, I'm going to add a little bit lower, maybe some lower tones and really bring out that country southern feel. EDM obviously has its own thing. Pop has its own nature and characteristics. So I think, yeah, every style, while I do try to make it my own, I also try to really infuse what that style calls for. So
That is so amazing. Uh, Now I'm going to ask you, like, what's your most emotionally draining or personal song that you have written, and what's really lyrics impactful for you?
yeah, it's a great question. This one is tough. I've written a ton of them. A lot of my client songs have probably been, in the best possible way, mostly drainer, or maybe there's a different word for that. Just emotionally like taxing because I feel their pain as for writing. So it's hard to pinpoint one. Um, One that just in terms of the experience was crazy, just in terms of the emotional state I was in, was my first EDM song, Wasted Love, which I'm not sure if you've heard the story, but as I was driving to my collaborator's house, a rock was thrown through my windshield, and I was in an emotionally difficult state when I got to the session. So that was probably the most difficult, just to maintain my cool and composure while writing. So that might have been one of the most challenging songs I've written. It turned out to be one of my successful songs on Universal and everything, but I think every song poses its own set of challenges emotionally, creatively. So kind of just got to roll with the punches. So
That is
yeah,
so intense.
absolutely.
Uh, how do you really know when a song is done, or does it never feel completely finished?
I think for me, I've learned as much as a perfectionist as I am and will always be. I think I've learned that you can't be so perfectionist to the point of not finishing and completing your projects and releasing it. I've learned through a lot of my clients who are equally as perfectionist or more so that if you don't, ever finish anything, you're never going to have a product out in the world for people to hear and love and enjoy. So I've seen a few of my clients take so long and then not even, and just totally shelve the song and not put it out. And it breaks my heart because they're such great artists and such, great songs. So I've kind of seen through them and learned like, okay, you know what? I need to just get this stuff out into the world. There's no such thing as a perfect song or a perfect mix you could tweak for years. So I've kind of just learned to let go of my babies and just let them go out into the, song universe. And hopefully a lot of people love them more than, don't love them. But I think it's just, yeah, it's a matter of like really valuing your art, but also valuing, giving your listeners material and not withholding or being too perfectionist where the songs never see the light of day.
Absolutely. Uh, I have like a super layman question. How do you like approach working with big names in the industry? Like, how did those collaborations with BEAUZ, Sick Individuals, DubVision really happen? And like, how do you market yourself as a songwriter?
So whether it's been, big collabs in EDM, celebrities I've been performing in front of J-Lo or, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, they're human. They were just little kids just like we were growing up. They were not famous just off the bat. Um, they're just human beings. So I've kind of always just remembered that, we all kind of share the same blood. Um, So, and we all came from somewhere that were, way different than we are now. So I think I always try to remember that in everything I've done. Uh, and that always kind of helps just bring some normalcy to it. I don't care how big they are, how many streams, we're all human. So that's first and foremost how I would just approach everything in life. We're kind of all equals. And I think in terms of the collaborations, how they occurred, right? So it's really just a lot of networking, different contacts in mind, reaching out to their contacts and connecting us and suggesting me for, for these projects, stuff like that. Couple I just did cold outreaches to, like, hey, this is who I am, what I've done. Let me know if you'd want to work together, things like that. Always, go a long way. So yeah, I think it's a combination of the two. And in terms of, marketing as a songwriter, I always say versatility is key. So really marketing to, everyone possible that, I can write any style that you need, any genre, any BPM, female, male, vocalist, doesn't matter. I could write for anybody. And that's, I think, how I've gotten so much work over the years, is because I haven't said, oh, I only do this and this is the only thing that, you can reach out to me for. I've been like, whatever you got, send it to me and I'll do it. So
You can rap too, you can say.
I've done that too. 100%. 100%.
Oh, uh, you've had over 100 million streams. What are some of the key moments or strategies that have helped you reach that level independently?
Yeah, a bunch, definitely. I think the networking aspect, huge. Without that, I probably wouldn't have had a lot of these collabs that I've been able to get. So that, I would say, first and foremost. I think just surrounding yourself with a great network, just, in your own sphere first, and then reaching out for the extra networking. But surrounding yourself with good people who really care about your art is first and foremost also. I'd say those go hand in hand. Because the people around you who represent you, who then talk about you to other peers and stuff, that's so important. So I think, it's a combination of that, building your circle, but also reaching out to people beyond your circle. I think that's probably the biggest things you can do in life and in music. So yeah, that's really helped me achieve, I'd say, probably 100 million of those 100 million streams. Yeah, it's really just been the people around me.
That is so amazing, man. My next question is, what's the one hard truth about the music industry you wish you'd known when you were starting out?
I think people, and this is again in life and in music, people often promise more than they can actually deliver. And you're always going to know yourself best and be your own best advocate more than anyone else. And a lot of people who want to help you often want to, I don't want to say take advantage, but want to benefit in some way from helping you. So you just have to be really careful, read contracts, make sure these people around you are trustworthy. It's super important, right? A lot of, contracts have this legal jargon built in that's there to almost trick you and deceive you. And you have to really know what you're doing. So have an entertainment lawyer, really read through everything yourself. Don't just rely on them. Work with people who really are just great human beings, not just big, not just famous, not just big accolades. I'd rather work with a great person than just someone who's huge but doesn't really, care too much about you as a person, and just cares about profiting off of your work. So definitely been a learning lesson for me, for sure.
Okay. How do you navigate the pressure to top yourself after big releases or viral moments?
It's tough because you want to always live up to or surpass your last biggest thing, and it doesn't always happen. So I think for me, I kind of just take everything one song at a time. So if the song doesn't do so well, or if it's like a huge, 5 million plus stream song, whatever it is, you just move on to the next one like the last one didn't happen, and you start fresh. That's the best mindset I think you can have going into anything, right? There's zero pressure. You don't have to compare to anything in the past. You start with a clean slate. You write that one, you release it, and you wash that slate clean. You start fresh again. That's kind of the best mindset to have for me.
So, what's like one song that got flopped, and how did you bounce back? Was there any song that you expected a lot of and it didn't really go as planned?
There have been a couple songs maybe that have been signed to bigger labels that I thought would stream incredibly well, and they didn't really stream up to par. Again, you take it one day at a time and one song at a time, and I'm not gonna let that affect me for years to come. It's one song out of hundreds at this point, maybe over 1,000, I'm sure, through the years that I've written. So it's not worth dwelling on. So at this point, I kind of just I take it with a grain of salt. It's one song, let it go, and kind of just move on. So don't really hang on to it too long.
That is so amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to like ask you some rapid fire questions. So you don't have to think too much and don't need to do much explaining unless you really want to.
Cool.
So, okay, what's that one song you wish you wrote?
Ooh, probably a classic like Let It Be. Beatles, not EDM as you'd expect, but yeah, Let It Be. Beautiful song.
Okay. Pop or EDM, which is more cutthroat?
Ooh, probably pop. EDM labels are open to single releases and really working with you. Pop labels, there really aren't as many small ones that are willing to release independently. So, yeah.
Okay. What's that one trend in music that needs to die?
The one that's just starting, which is AI taking over everything and doing so super robotically and inhuman, unhuman, whatever word you want to use for that. It's just too robotic, too like way too perfect and just not authentic at all. So I'd say that.
Okay. What are you more afraid of, being misunderstood or being forgotten?
Very deep question. Probably misunderstood because 500 years from now, I don't think anyone's going to remember who I am, but I think in the moment, I want people to understand my lyricism, connect, resonate, have my lyrics resonate with them. So, yeah, I would say definitely misunderstood.
Okay. What's your go-to karaoke song which is not your own?
My Girl, maybe? Again, going back, classic. Yep.
Micro from who?
What was that?
What was the song you said?
Oh, My Girl. My Girl.
From which artist?
Oh, Temptations. Yeah, the
Okay,
Temptations.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm.
What's more overrated, lyrics or vocal runs?
Vocal runs, definitely, because you can sing a song beautifully, very simply. So you don't really always need them.
Okay. One artist you'd give everything to collaborate with.
Ed Sheeran, I think. Yep. Gifted songwriter, obviously. Great voice, super just fun guy. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Who's more competitive, singers or producers?
Singers, by far. Yeah, I think I think we're always, whether we're trying to like outrun the other, because runs, yes, they still are important here and there. Trying to outrange each other like Mariah Carey. Definitely singers.
Okay. Have you ever dated anybody in the music industry?
Yeah, right now, my current girlfriend, as a dancer choreographer, is definitely in the music industry. So yeah.
Okay. So, ever use your music to impress someone romantically and did it work?
Well, yeah, I did sing for her on our first date, and we are still together. So I'd say it worked. Yeah.
That is so cool. Who's your celebrity crush?
Oh, I would say maybe like Selena Gomez. Yeah,
Okay.
had to pick one.
Okay. What are like some of your favorite tracks on loop?
Oh man, I have so many different types of songs. Gosh, this is hard. I love the emotional stuff, like a song like Skyscraper by Demi Lovato. I love classic Stevie Wonder, Isn't She Lovely? I love Bruno Mars, When I Was Your Man. I had so many classics, not just EDM for sure. Yep.
Okay. Would you rather be critically loved or commercially successful?
I mean, success is important for sure, but I think love is more important. So if people can really connect to a song and it has, 100,000 streams, I'd rather have that than a song with 1 million that no one even gets why it went viral. So I would take that any day. Yeah.
Okay. Ever sent a risky text and instantly regretted it?
Luckily, no. Yep.
Okay. So last thing you Googled?
How to save our house plant that is semi slowly dying. Yep.
Okay.
Funny.
You have many house plans, right?
If we got one to start, and we're doing our best to keep this thing alive. So
Okay. So if you weren't a musician, what would you be?
definitely a baseball player, baseball coach if I couldn't be a player successfully, but in sports, 1,000%.
Okay. Do aliens exist? Yes or no?
I would like to say hopefully not. You never know, but I would say no.
Okay. What is that one song that you pretend to like, but you cannot really stand it?
Oh man. I feel like there are probably a bunch. I mean, I value the art in every song, but I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint one, but I think a lot of the music today doesn't merely have the depth or the substance as maybe music of yesterday. So won't call out one, but I'd say there's definitely a handful for sure.
Okay. Would you like to name them? Ross.
I don't even know if I could honestly pinpoint one, but definitely stuff that's on like the top 40 now. Some of it just, I don't know. They're all talented artists, but I just feel like some songs don't really hit me 100%. So
Okay. So be honest, have you ever Googled yourself?
for sure. So I can't even hide it. Absolutely. Yep,
Okay.
for sure.
So if you now go to American Idol, would you win the finale?
Honestly, I don't know. And I think maybe I was better off placing where I place and not winning. I think a lot of the people who, don't finish number one or number two go on to do just as well or have better careers even than the people who win. So honestly, I'm happy. I think things are meant to be how they are, and yeah, I wouldn't really change it though.
Okay. What's more important now? TikTok virality or playlist placements?
Wow, probably, I mean, both, but man, I think for me, playlist placements, because I don't really do social media as much. So I'd say playlist, but TikTok's huge, so definitely both.
So major label deal or full creative control? Pick one.
Interesting. For me, I just love music, and if I can get my music out to the masses, cool. So as long as they didn't make me like a heavy metal artist, I would go major label deal personally. But I think in terms of an artist's perspective, a pure artist perspective, creative control is hugely important. So I'm split, but I wouldn't mind a major deal that really still had my own interests at heart. So
Okay. What's like one of the biggest red flags in a producer or a collaborator?
probably no open-mindedness in terms of valuing my creative input. Just someone who does it their way or the highway, quote unquote. Not the best collaborator for sure. Yeah.
Okay. One thing that most artists waste time on that doesn't actually move their career forward.
That's a great question. I feel like for me at one point when I was doing shows in the same venues over and over and a lot of the same fans, it was great to kind of keep the loyal fan base, but I didn't really grow so much. So I think kind of just staying stuck in that same spot and doing the same thing over and over. Sometimes it's great, but sometimes it just gets too monotonous. So I think, yeah, maybe just not like pivoting enough is something that holds them back.
Okay. What's like one of the most underrated skill an artist should have outside of music?
I'd say the ability to connect, their personality, their conversations, their use of, just humor, giving interviews. It's hugely important to, I think, connect on a human level and a personal level. If you have the best music ever, but people hate you, it's not going to get you so far. So just being a good person, being able to communicate and, just be good to others. I think that's huge.
Okay, I'm going to like rewind time a bit back and I want to ask like how did you get into American Idol? Platform like American Idol that is so huge and everybody watches it. Just tell me about
Yeah, it was a dream come true. I was 16 years old. I've never had TV experience before. And I was just really super blessed to have that opportunity. I just auditioned like anybody else and ended up making it to, where I did, the top 8 boys, top 16 overall. Just, grateful is an understatement. And it just, changed my life. Wouldn't change a thing, like I said. And I recommend it for anybody who has this dream. Just do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed of, if you're not 100% confident in your voice, don't hold back, right? Just go for it. Give it a shot. Because it really could change your life, and it did for me. I'm very, very lucky.
So now looking back on American Idol, do you feel like it shaped your identity as an artist? And how long did it take you to step out of the shadow?
I think it did. It taught me a lot. Taught me that I could do this as a career for a living. Kind of showed me what artist I wanted to be. I sang a lot of very emotional music, so I love to do that still. And I think in terms of like stepping out, I think the Idol brand is great, but you also need to do your own thing. So it's great when now I'm not like Robbie like just the Idol finalist. It's now Robbie the EDM vocalist, Robbie the pop artist, Robbie who's singing on a funk soul record. That's what I love most. And when someone remembers me from Idol, that's great too. But it's good to have a balance.
So, did you ever have to rebuild after Idol musically or emotionally to be taken seriously as a songwriter or vocalist?
I would say evolve, maybe not rebuild because I built from that momentum, I think, but I've evolved a lot. I think, I'm no longer this 16, 17-year-old kid from the show. I definitely have come a long way. I built my own entertainment company also, so I've entered the entrepreneurial world. Um, Done a lot for many other artists that I didn't think I'd ever really be doing. So I think, I've definitely evolved quite a bit, but I'd say I use that momentum every day and what the show gave me. So I'm very thankful to the show.
That is so amazing. Uh, has there been ever a point in your career where you genuinely considered walking away from music, and what really pulled you back in?
I would say no, not walking away per se. I think I've felt like anybody in life a little bit defeated sometimes. You definitely get a lot of no's in this industry for sure. Tell you a cool story. On my birthday, probably like 6, 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, I reached out to probably like 40 of the biggest producers and their managers. Probably heard back from like 3 and ended up working with one of those 3. So say like 1 of 40, but that 1 of 40 was Sick Individuals, and that song was the second biggest song I've ever done. So, it took 39 no's to get one yes, but that yes was a big one for me. So, defeated or a little, upset sometimes, sure, but quitting music, I am music. Music's like in my blood. It makes me who I am, so I can't quit.
I love it. My next question is, what are some of the mistakes that artists or songwriters do while navigating the music industry, and how can they overcome doing that mistake so that they move forward?
Yeah, I think not not looking into contracts closely enough, not trusting the wrong people, not going with the right people sometimes. Also, not learning from those mistakes. Also, putting their focus in areas that don't benefit them as much. Um, a lot of artists maybe are afraid to like take that leap, even to come into the EDM world. Sometimes they love listening to EDM, but they're like, oh, I don't know if I can sing that, or what does that entail? I don't even know what a top line is. And they're just a little nervous or hesitant because they don't know what it is, which is fine. But when something can really help them, if they still kind of have that hesitancy to even try it or take that leap, that's tough and it's not going to get them very far. So I think just, kind of sometimes they're, artists are their own worst enemy, just as like people are. And I've been that way sometimes myself, just in terms of taking that leap of faith. So sometimes taking a risk and like really trying something that could really change your career, I think is important.
Okay. What keeps you grounded and motivated, especially in an industry built on numbers, image, and constant change?
I mean, I've always tried to just kind of stay the same kid I've always been, in terms of like how I carry myself, how I treat people. So I think in terms of being grounded, I was raised like that thanks to 2 incredible parents, and I think I will never change who I am for any, with any amount of fame or success or anything. I don't really care. That comes secondary to all of, just who you are as a person. I think motivated. I'm always motivated just to do better and go bigger, and work with bigger people and have bigger success. So I feel like there's never really a point where I'm just not motivated to write another great song. So
Okay. Uh, what's your daily routine as a songwriter like, and how do you stay consistent?
we're just writing and writing more. That's the best thing you can do. It's just practice makes perfect, or as close to perfect as possible. Writing different styles, writing with different people, writing in different environments. I'd say all the above, kind of like just a multitude of different, again, people, places, things that you're writing about, topics. Like if you can just keep adding variables to the equation and challenging yourself, you'll get better. So I would say kind of like all the above.
Okay. My last and final question for this podcast is, if you could give one piece of advice to yourself or anyone who is just starting out in music, what would that piece of advice be?
Yeah, it's like any other industry. It can be intimidating at times, but don't let it. I would say trust yourself, trust your ability, trust your talent, and just know, like, I'm living proof. And again, I'm so grateful for this, but like, it is very possible to make a living in music, 1,000%. A lot of people are skeptical. A lot of artists are skeptical, so they go take other jobs, which obviously that's important. Go make your money. But at the same time, don't give up music, right? Don't give up on yourself and your music. If you take that other job, still work on your craft. You never know. One song could change your life and you could leave that job in a second. So just believe in yourself, your talent, and just give this industry a shot, because it's really, like, again, music is who we are. It's not just what we do. And why not, try to really live that dream that you have. So, of
That is such a great advice. And thank you so much, Robbie, for joining this show.
course.
I'm really stoked to have you here.
Absolutely. Likewise.
And thank you all for tuning into this podcast. Make sure you give this podcast a 5-star rating if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Music, and like and share and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, keep grinding, keep producing, keep working hard, and above all, don't tell anyone. Peace.
You will find